So some people don't think it's good enough for me to tweet out a picture of the privacy strike that Without a Crystal Ball gave me. So I'm going to show it to you right now. So here it is. Basically this video and these timestamps. Let's take a look at each of the timestamps and talk about it. But just to make sure, blah, 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 regular privacy strike. There you go. At the actual timestamps. This timestamp cannot have any type of privacy strike unless it comes from Creepshow herself. So we can skip this timestamp. This is just a frame of my video that has just her first name that she publicly goes by, and the rest of this is from Creepshow Art. We can ignore that. You know, it must have been a mistake, right? Must have been a mistake to include that timestamp. Let's take a look at the next timestamp. This one is 1:15, and if you can go check these timestamps yourself, just look at the email and check them yourself, but it's just a meme. There's nothing privacy related there, so we can ignore that. So, the last timestamp is 9:55, which could only be the relevant thing that she struck me for the privacy strike. Let's take a quick look at it. I will blur it. I will blur the right side of the screen so that, you know, I don't get another false privacy strike. But as you can see at 9:55 in my video, all it has on the screen is the text. It's not even an email. It's just, it looks like somebody copied the text and then pasted the text, because this doesn't look like somebody's email right here, right? So what do I think about this? I think that it's a false privacy strike. Why? Because there's nothing I can do but go in and blur those 3 timestamps. Why would I? There isn't an email shown. There isn't anything there. So I've written YouTube back and told them that there is no privacy issue in this. But if Katie tries to press it forward, then yes, this thing that she's filed will take down my video. Now, it doesn't mean it will, because YouTube most likely will stop it from happening once they see my response and once they see that I didn't do what she's alleging I did. Some kind of privacy violation. People don't understand, the ones out there saying that, oh my God, it's not a privacy strike. Yes, it is. There is no action that I can take, even if I do blur out the timestamps that she put in. The only thing that makes any sense to this is that she struck all of us, which is me, Truth Sleuth, Creepshow, and a couple other people, Drama and Opinions. She struck us literally for talking about the words that were in that email. So if she has some kind of issue with us talking about what she put in the email, that's what she should be telling YouTube. She should be using specific timestamps and telling them that. Though, she has said a couple things. Let me see if I can find them. And if I can't find them, I'll just describe them to you, because I'm not going to spend hours looking. But let me see if I can find it. My recording. Busy, by the way, is not with us right now. I might flash on the screen what happened to him. That's right. He's trapped inside of a crystal ball. Wonder who did that. Okay. So, we've got a person in a comment section, looks like it's on her channel, who says this. Why did you strike other YouTubers' channels? Your name and email is public, Katie. Edit. Since she's hiding comments, you sent privacy strikes to several channels, Katie. Stop lying again. You specifically timed the strikes for when they use your name. Stop lying. Creepshow Art has released, that's Creepshow. Let's zoom in. Creepshow Art has released the privacy strike, and it looks exactly like mine. Her timestamp is 12:49. You know what I'm going to do? Let's see what happened in Creepshow's 12:49. Let's take a look. So here is Creepshow Art's 12:49 of her video, and it's showing 2 things. It shows the actual email address that I'm going to blur out for this ahead of time. Tipster is a genius. Yeah, he said, you know what he said? He said that you should just go ahead and blur this stuff so that these YouTubers can't false strike you. Yeah, I'm with you, Tipster. In fact, I completely agree. I should start doing that again. But the reason that I didn't blur it ahead of time is because you don't think that creators are going to false strike you for something like this. There are 2 things in Creepshow Art's timestamp. One is the actual address with her name, and another is the email. Now, if you compare just Creepshow's, because I don't know what Drama and Opinions was, I'd love to actually, but If you just look at the timestamp from Creepshow Art and the timestamp she put of mine, you see that she was almost memeing on me. She put some fake-ass timestamps on mine. She's just basically being vindictive in my opinion. And I don't know why. She did this to me. I didn't do anything to her, but literally respond to the things she's actively doing to me. So with these privacy strikes, you can get a strike immediately if it's a serious issue. But for the issues that Katie is showing, intent is for that person to blur it out or fix it. That's what the system she used is for. So thanks to her admission in the comments section and also comparing the timestamps that I showed you, you can only come to the conclusion that she's striking due to us showing and discussing the email, the actual words of the email. Therefore, we have no way of fixing the issue because we didn't just show the email. The email was the backbone for the videos that we were doing. If we were to comply, knowing this new information, we would have to edit out the entire chunk of the video where we talked about it. But doing that would make the video worthless. It wouldn't make sense after we did that. We'd have to delete the whole video. This is another reason why it's definitely a false strike. She has set us up for failure. There is no clear thing that we can fix other than taking down the whole video, which is exactly what I think she was aiming for. Again, this is a major reason why it's a false strike. False being she has used the wrong strike for what she wants to do, and the strike part is the desired outcome for her if we can't comply, and I've already proven we can't, especially with my timestamps. So follow me here. If this is true, then she's trying to say that if we show the email that we are infringing on her right to the email, which is the exact description of a copyright strike. For some reason, she has the rights to the copies of the email, and she can decide who shows it and who doesn't, not that there is a privacy complaint. But that only exists if she's upset over us showing the email and not an email address or a name. Let me explain just a little bit more. If Katie's intent was to claim a right to the image of the email and have us edit it out or take the video down, then she should have filed a copyright strike. Her telling all the people that she's told that it wasn't over the address, it wasn't over her name, these are things she's said since then. It leads us to say that she isn't trying to lay a claim to the rights of the copies of this email, and therefore she's filed the wrong strike. Again, that would make this a false strike. Hopefully I explained it appropriately in those two ways. But let's go on to the next point, which is the major point in this situation. Katie is hypocritically filing these false privacy strikes because in the past, she herself has shown many emails and DMs. An email is an exchange of a conversation directly messaged to somebody, just like a DM is. They are pretty much the same thing in regards to this issue. So here's a list of the things Katie has shown on her channel and the circumstances that she showed them. Let's compare the thought of privacy that she supposedly holds to these circumstances to see if she's being fair in the application of the privacy strike. When she talked about Danielle Cohn, she shared DMs with Danielle while claiming it was the mother using Danielle's account to send the DM, which she had zero proof that it was the mother. She literally just claimed this. Her saying that the mother sent it instead of Danielle gave her a right to show the DMs. But the DMs were still not only her conversation with someone, it was a minor. That situation is pretty messed up because it's a minor, but let's move on to Janelle Evans. Wait. I didn't even write down the other part. So in the Danielle Cohn thing, there was a woman that was coming out revealing very private things about Danielle Cohn. She got a message from Danielle's DMs, and Danielle was saying, please do not invade my privacy by sharing the things that this account is telling you. And Katie said, well, I'm going to share it anyway, and I'm going to tell everybody that it was the mother who sent me this without having any reason why, which kind of doubly, triply, quadruply causes a problem, right? Because someone was literally asking her not to share something because it was too private, and yet she did it anyway. Now let's move on to Janelle Evans. A teen mom, she shared DMs where in the DMs it showed Katie literally telling the teen mom that the conversation was, quote, off the record. I think I even have a screenshot of this. I don't think I'm going to show it though, For those of you that have seen it, you know it's there. Anyway, so in the conversation, Katie says, hey, this is off the record, and then asks Janelle Evans' question. When Janelle responds, Katie then goes and makes videos off of what Janelle responded to the off-the-record statement. Yet, so the issue is yet that Katie still showed the DMs as if it was on the record. She did this because Janelle called her a liar, and she wanted to prove that Janelle actually told her these things. So there is a privacy situation there, much worse than us discussing this email. Now, I've got several situations which are just alleged. They're just reported to me, like I can't go actually check them. But here they are. These are people that Katie has also either shown an email or DMs with without having permission from the person who sent it. Jarrell's World. Not going to go into what happened. Those of you that witnessed what happened know what happened. Jarrell's World. Kyle Curtis. Leslie Bass. The Leslie Bass sharing were text message, and this is the incident where Katie, quote, accidentally, I don't have my camera on, but I'm holding up my quotes, accidentally shared Leslie's phone number. I'm not saying she didn't accidentally do it. I'm saying there's an accusation that it wasn't accidental. I'm not even making that claim, and also there was another 90 Day Fiancé star, and we can't remember the person's name, but Katie did share emails or DMs from that 90 Day Fiancé star also. So some other complaints or criticisms. Someone saying something about me asking Leslie Bass for a copy of her strike. This is completely different from this situation, but let's go into it. Leslie had weeks to share hers, and I was fine waiting. You all know that if you were around. Oh, just like this person was. And I waited until Leslie was back from her break talking about this exact subject on Twitter before I started asking her for the email. So she had already come back. He's already addressing it. Therefore, she must not still be on break. Makes sense, right? Also, I waited until Leslie started addressing this issue and made sure that she was cool talking about this before even pressing it. She had a lot of time. I think the strike was on November 26th or 20th or 22nd. Problem is, we don't know because it's not on Social Blade. The strike never got registered to Social Blade because it didn't exist. She had a lot of time. Another creator close to Leslie and Leslie both wanted me to cover the story, and I needed the email to cover it. A video was waiting on it. You could say that there were people out there that wanted to cover me being struck, and therefore privacy strike, and therefore I should hurry and share it so that they could cover it. You would be misrepresenting things because I didn't go directly to any of those people like Leslie and her friend did, and he was vouching that Leslie wanted it done and did prove it to me. So you could say that I should hurry and share it so that they could cover it, but I did. I did hurry. I waited a day. That's all. From when I knew it was there, I waited a day. It wasn't weeks. It wasn't a week. It wasn't many days. I did it just after sitting down at the office and pulling up my email. Also, Leslie told me that she had no problem sharing the strike. This situation is completely different, and I believe it's being brought up just to troll and bullshit. Especially since the people making the criticism knew this themselves, but only brought up what they wanted to about the situation in order to make their pretend criticism. So there you go. There is the video that people are asking I make, discussing why these strikes that she put on all of us are false strikes, and more evidence that proves that I received one also. Just so you know, I'm changing the way that I do things in the future for one tiny little part. In the future, when I put something out, people are going to go around and claim that I'm lying. I'm just going to let them claim it. It should have been enough for me to put out the image on social media. But in the future, when people flip out like this, if they don't have a good reason or criticism to back their complaint, I'm going to ignore it like I usually do. Bet you 100 busy bucks, the same people that are complaining that they wanted more evidence of this strike, they're going to be like, saying that I did it for clout or views. You made this video for views and clout and all of this. Because the people saying this are trolls. They want to make loud noises and get people angry. So if I end up doing something that they say will make them happy, that they say they want, they'll immediately change their mind once I do it and then find problems in me doing that. This is the definition of trolling. This is just like some people out there that wanted me to kick Katie out months ago, but didn't have any evidence or reasons that qualified for her to be kicked, just expecting me to know. So once Katie finally got kicked, they all of a sudden take the stance that I was jumping on a bandwagon or just doing it for clicks and views, lying about all of this the whole time. You can't make people like that happy. Nothing can, and you shouldn't try. You should be happy yourself that they are out of your life. And don't worry, the people that they dupe into listening to them will realize that they are trolls just like everybody else has.